Hello, everyone, and welcome. It is Sunday, March 15th, and we have gathered here today to practice together, to share space together, even though so many of us are not able to show up in person to the spaces that normally support us. And so I'm so grateful that this is a space where we can gather, at least in this way. I'm going to give a very short little talk here, and then we'll chant, and then we'll move into some healing movement. This is a time that understandably a lot of us are feeling a lot of fear. And I've been contemplating the nature of fear and the nature of suffering. And something that's been happening for me is that the fear has made me slow down. The fear has made me more aware of the fear that and suffering that other people are experiencing. And it's interesting because this very project of Nowhere Village, this space that I felt really called to create, I feel like I've come to understand it in a whole new way in light of these challenges that are arising for all of us. And so I'm realizing that the fear, as long as I don't let it shut me down and keep me from being embodied and keep me from connecting, that the fear in a way is helping me connect with love. It's helping me connect with my purpose, and it's helping me understand that we are all interconnected, and that the ramifications of our actions really do matter. And so, actually a couple of you, Chloe and I were talking about this, she's on the line, but a couple of you have actually said something kind of similar to me, that while this is obviously not something, this pandemic is not something that any of us would have wished for, it is something that has woken up parts of ourselves that needed to be awakened, and possibly given us the space and the time to really be with what's true in ourselves, and for so many of you have talked about the opportunity to make more creative projects, to do some things that the busyness of our world hasn't allowed us to do. And so again, I'm hoping to just facilitate spaces for us to come together, to share our creativity, to manifest the possibilities right now that are ripe for the fear actually leading to more love, more connection. I wanted to share one of my favorite quotes from one of my favorite teachers, who I teach from a lot, Nisargadatta Maharaj, and I'm gonna just read this to you here. He says, "It is in the nature of love to express itself, to affirm itself, to overcome difficulties. Once you have understood that the world is love in action, you will look at it quite differently. But first, your attitude to suffering must change. Suffering is primarily a call for attention, which itself is a movement of love. More than happiness, love wants growth, the widening and deepening of consciousness and being. Whatever prevents this becomes a cause of pain. But love does not shirk from pain. The energy that works for righteousness and orderly development must not be thwarted. When obstructed, love turns against itself and becomes destructive. Whenever love is withheld and suffering is allowed to spread, war becomes inevitable. Our indifference to our neighbor's sorrow brings suffering to our own door." So we're going to do a really simple chant. And the words to the chant are Hey Ma Durga. Durga. Hey Ma Durga. Hey means greetings. Hey. Ma means mother. And Durga is this beautiful goddess, warrior, who comes and helps when things get really rough. She is that movement of love when there is suffering. She is that compassion that awakens for our neighbors and for ourselves. And so we'll chant this a few times and then we'll get moving. Come into your body. Come into your breath. The fear can keep us disconnected, stuck in our heads. But Ma Durga is also Mother Nature. And she lives in our bodies. And our bodies live in the now and here. So arrive. Arrive now and here. And yes, you might meet a little pain here. You might meet some fear here. But what if that pain and fear was here to wake up, call forth our love? Call it back. Your turn. Wake her up.